Big up to all those in YouTube land. Can I just say, champion, champion, ole, ole, ole. Helicopter. That's right.
Why?
No, there's people coming out again because people still need to get the chop. But anyway, big up to all those in YouTube land. Chelsea are now the only club in world history to win all 4, not 3, like everybody else has been saying, 4 UEFA club competitions. Let me explain when we return. Let's do this. Big up to all those in YouTube land. What can I say, boys? At the end of the season, JPT's on the beverages, Stepsy's on high on life, and I've just me, really. Champions of Europe again, JPT. All right, cool. It was the baby cup, but champions of Europe again. And this is the first time I've seen you on stream since then, bro. Hey!
Yeah, JPT's got a
European trophy this year.
He's not
Sorry, I had to ask that, because I'm not gonna. Spurs got a European trophy, Chelsea got a European trophy, Crystal Palace got an FA Cup, man. They're handing trophies out in London, and Arsenal are still not picking them up. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I won a couple years ago. And Happy Hammerhead.
Wait, did Arsenal get the Charity Shield?
Yeah, what, this year?
Or do we count that?
No, I don't count the show. That's a pre-season charity cup, man. I don't count that.
Arsenal fan, did he say that the Charity Shield was more important than Europe?
Oh my God! Oh, come on, bring on next season. Infamous quad cup incoming. A quad? You sound like a Liverpool fan. Jesus Christ! Somebody get this man a proper Palmer. Astrid settings next season, boy. Obviously says evening ladies. Yeah, thanks, Ro. Big up to you as well. How you doing?
I know she's.
Hey, Ro. No, Ro. 4. Hang on, here you go. Ro, here you go. She's just gone 4 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Hey, Ro. Helicopter. Sorry, I have to be a bit immature. Then, I'm sorry. Arsenal are homeless with their hands out, and no one's giving them anything. Please, you know what it is? Arsenal are Oliver Twist now. Please, sir, I want some more. And Arteta's like, what? More?
More phases.
You're not getting more, boy. Aberdeen. There's JPT.
Shows for sale.
Well, no, but the thing is, right, can I just say, before we get into this, right, I have to say, big up the Chelsea ladies as well.
Yes.
Right, yes. Because at the end of the day, right, I have to say, right, I know, I'm not sure how many, I know Chelsea Sessions or TT or Tyrone, whoever you know, I know he would have acknowledged this. Oh, yeah. But can I just say, big up to the ladies, man. A complete domestic season, undefeated, a domestic treble, not lost a single game in a competitive fixture in England.
But in that regard too, also shout out to the Arsenal women's team who slayed the beast.
I will give a shout out to Luton ladies who have made a division up now. They're now.
Oh well, there you go. We've all got a reason to celebrate. Our girls run.
The ladies who got out of non-league, they're now in league.
Wait, hang on. Our girls. Wait. Hang on. So our girls. So our girls are untouchable at home. Pause. The Arsenal ladies did the dirty on holiday, and the Luton ladies have gone up one. Is that perfectly summed up?
That's perfectly summed up.
Perfectly. We're all happy. Wait, I'm literally panting my room blue. Yeah, I get that, literally, yeah. Our Luton ladies playing the supermarket back shift next week. Bonnie Blue, oh my God. Alright, okay, I made a joke. I apologise for my helicopter gag. But right.
Supermarket looking for deals, that's what we're doing.
Oh, alright. But right. Boys, okay, I don't know how much of that game you actually watched, JPT. Mm-hmm. Because I know you said you were watching it at work, so give me your thoughts on the first half of that and what you thought.
I started drinking during the first half because that was at work too. 8 minutes, and we conceded, and it was coming. Yeah, people want to complain about that should have been a foul on was it Neto Cucurella? that shouldn't have given the free kick to set up the goal. I don't care. They were all over us. We did not look.
They
good.
were. And can I just say, another guy who deserves a round of applause because it looked like him back in the day in a Real Madrid shirt. Can I just say, Isco?
Oh man.
Yeah.
In the first half, that guy terrified me. The no look pass for the assist was good. I'm not even glad because he's looking that way and went that way. Like
it's like he rolled back the years somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, one thing I like about Henry, if you're a baller, he'll let you play.
Yes.
So that, and I'm not being funny. He got the tune out of people like because I'm not okay. It's either him or Mancini. You can say really put City on the map because they're the one that won them their initial league titles. You know. So yeah, I mean, credit where credit's due. He knows what he's doing, and I'm not being funny. First half, like, would you not say JPT that they had our number?
They should have been up 3-0. And all things to Gusto.
They should have been 2-0. Yeah.
All things to Malo. Malo lived up to his name. Muy Malo. He was terrible. He kept getting cooked. The goal scorer had his name all day. Everyone was on it. They were waiting for the counter every time. And also shout out to Jorgensen because if it wasn't for that one big save, I forgot who made the shot. It was a great save.
Yeah, from the centre back.
Waiting over the bar.
When he picked over the bar when he dived to his left. Yeah.
I was going to say.
If they scored that, it was over. It was over. We weren't going to come back from that. But
one where he had all the room and he bent it and it just went over the bar in the corner. If that had gone in, that would have been it.
The one too that Benoit had deflected out, which I went for a corner kick where Gusto got cooked, slid, and just passed it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the one when he did the cutback and he missed it and he bent it wide. Yeah, I remember that. That's actually the third one. Yeah, that's true, JPT.
Multiple chances to make it 2-0 in the first half. Multiple chances.
2-3-0. And we weren't going to do anything up front because Noni was shit.
Noni, bro.
God.
There seemed to be for the first 20-25 minutes, half an hour, there was no outlet for Chelsea. It was like guns back to the wall.
And
no
outlet,
no one there to pass it out to. And every time they done 2 or 3 passes, they lost it.
No, but the thing is,
Wolfie was playing that, saying the pass is awful.
Well, the thing is, my main concern, my main concern, and I think I said this to Steps in the watch along yesterday, was despite the fact that we're playing an extremely high line and they're isolating themselves 3-on-3, they're not quite learning the lesson and dropping deeper and having the 2 midfields come to support them. So and that's the thing, every time they got the ball in the first half against our back 3, you felt they could score.
It felt like I said to you, it felt like the reverse of what Forest were doing, Chelsea were doing to Forest. It's like they reverse roles.
Well, I'll get onto that. It's actually funny though, because it's funny you made the comparison against Forest because I said, like, I believe I said this in the Forest game, and I think maybe Stepsy can remember. I think I said that to Stepsy in the build-up to the game we just picked on before any of the goals had gone in. I said to him I checked up Betis' record recently, and just like Forest, they'd start to let results slip.
Yeah, no, you did, yeah, exactly said that. Yeah, you did, yeah.
Like, there's one thing about it, I know Real Madrid...
You said they were picking up draws, didn't you? You said they were picking up a lot of draws.
Yeah, they were picking up a lot of draws, just like how Forest was slipping a lot of points at home. Not so much away, but at home they drew against Leicester, they lost against United. I even said that in the watch-along. I don't see why United could beat these guys away, but we can't. So, like, I think we were lucky in the sense of, we probably played these guys at probably the best time, Forest and Betis. And the reason why I say that is because they've both come off the back of very long campaigns, you know what I mean? And they probably haven't got the depth that we've got. Depth. We might not be a quality depth, but we've got depth. You know what I mean? We've got youngsters to draw. We've got 23-year-olds, other 22-year-olds, other 21-year-olds, other 19-year-olds to draw on. Like we've got a limitless supply of kids. So pools, but the same applies to that in them when it comes to if they have to use the same 11 week in, week out. And I think with Forest's case was Anoni, when he got injured, that was a big part of how they played. That helped us.
Huge part.
And I'm not being funny. Similar case in point yesterday, in the sense of as soon as their goals what's his name again?
Asamoah,
yeah. And the fact of when he got injured early in the second half, that was it. They were done. It's because he got injured early in the second half. He got taken off, and from that point onwards, It was actually the role reversal of what Stepsy was saying. Is they became the team with no outlet and couldn't get out, where we were the team that had no outlet. But unlike them, we didn't miss our chances.
No.
And I have to say, hats off to Concedo, man. He deserved his goal. Out of everyone on that pitch last night, I couldn't be more happy that Moises, because I'm not being funny, he's easily, for me now, one of the best midfielders in the Premier League now. Yeah, I know a lot of people would say he's not.
Where was the stream? They said that he's probably the best Premiership. He's probably the best midfielder in the Premiership. Will, if not the world, at the moment.
Big up, Mel. Big up to Mel, everyone's favourite Canadian. Big up to Miss Melina in the background. If you can see her there, please give her a like and subscribe. She is an absolutely wonderful human being, and I feel sorry for her. She supports the wrong club, but that doesn't mean she isn't a great person.
That's true.
She's still celebrating a Champions League win because she's
no, she'll be in the Champions League, definitely. But yeah, please, if you can, subscribe to Mel as well. She is a wonderful lady. Yeah, Isco, brother. We were just mentioning Isco, his performance, but a couple of things I want to bring up was like, and I said this in the watch. I definitely said this in the watch. What was Maresca doing with that starting lineup? Now I can understand that these guys did play a big tie at Forest, right, over at the weekend. But I'm not being funny, right? One thing about it is, it's not like you got a game coming up for a couple of weeks. You guys are gonna have a break now, so it's like, why not just? It worked out in the end because why was Badiashile playing? Can anyone with a rational mind actually explain to me why Badiashile was playing? He
come on for an interview and did say they asked him and he said, "I think I got it. I think I made a mistake today."
Well, there you go. Then
he made a mistake.
Well, if he's made a mistake and he's owned up to it.
But he shouldn't be making mistakes. That's the whole point.
No. In the Champions League, once you've made that mistake, you go 3-4-0 down like we should have done in the end of the first half, and then it's unrecoverable. Yeah, that's going to be the difference between Champions League. And that's the thing I made that point last night of. If we couldn't beat Betis, don't expect to get anywhere in the Champions League. And I'm not being funny. If you play like that, big up Joe in the building. Big up, brother. I would have rather have played Toss and Gusto. Big up, Joe, brother. If you want to come on, my guy, just let me know and I will shout you. In fact, actually,
yes.
Joe's a good guy, man. I've been trying to get him back on the show for a good minute.
He's probably, man. He talks facts.
Yeah.
Big up, Joe. If you can spare us 5 minutes, brother, I would love to hear your point of view, man. Big up to Joe in the building. Big up Dams as well. Big up, brother. Unlucky in the Europa League, bro.
Unlucky in Asia.
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't the best of finals, but damn, like, yeah. But Badiashile, why did that guy stop, man? Like,
I'll give
what?
Did
you say he's hardly played this season?
Well, no, he got injured, and after Christmas, I think the guy's not even had half an hour since Christmas.
We need to stop buying.
Unless JPT can correct me, and
you usually have your statistics up like Stato. Did he play much?
I much, unless there was an injury, like or Colo's certain suspension.
Well, he didn't play against Liverpool. As far as I know, he didn't play against Newcastle. He definitely didn't play against Forest. So why the fuck are you starting him last night? It makes no sense. It's just like, here you go. I benched you all season, but here's a consolation prize. You can start. I'm gonna take you off. Yeah. But you can start. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just, I don't get the rationale behind his decision making last night. I'm all good, thank you, Rosie. He says, I'm on. Dimes says, well gone. Yeah, please, if you can, please show Dimes some love as well, man. He's a Man United fan. Help him. Jesus Christ, help him. He helped Spurs with a trophy, man. Help him.
Consistent with his content, please support the brother.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Man United's tough right now. And not only did they lose a cup final, they've still got Money Mace on their books. And he showed how worthless he was in that cup final.
And now we took the lap from them.
Yeah. Apparently, I see that today earlier on the way home. Like, apparently, that deal that's going to go through.
You're in talks now to get Sancho on contract as well. That's
well. I will come to Sancho in the second half. Now the other mistake I think is with Gusto, because Gusto and Badiashile shouldn't have started. But if Gusto was going to start, please stop trying to make this guy invert to a 10 because we can't do it.
And the goal came because he was out of position.
Well, he's
for me. He's not an attacking wing back.
No, he can be. It's just out wide, not in the centre.
For me, he didn't get out of his first half. His half. That first half.
He has to invert like James. James can handle it in the middle. He can't. That's the problem.
He just looked like he was struggling. That's all.
No, I mean,
he was.
he got.
And the thing is, what made him good for us last season was the fact of he could burst down the right hand side on the byline, cutting down, and the guy can cross, and he can pass. I think he's actually stifling his game, because there's some people you shouldn't play in the middle, and I think that's because he can't play in the middle. He's no good at it. So, and this guy was our player of the season last season, and it's not the fact, we all know he's not a shit player. He's not. It's the way you use him. Adapt. I said I was screaming for a back four last night. Have Gusto right back, Cucurella left back, and have the two drop back, and that way you've got a four there. Part of the two midfielders, because that's the thing in that first half. They found so much space all the time. We can't play like that against the PSG. We can't play like that. I could just hear Lewandowski going, "Oh, Chelsea defense, yeah." You know what I mean? Back post. You know what I mean? Like,
it's easy
because they were all over us in that first half. And Badashili shouldn't have started. Gusto should play in a more familiar role. I don't know why. Adebayor didn't start. I think that was mentioned a minute ago. If you're going to play anyone, why didn't Adebayor play? Because he's been actually a good defender for us, and it would have been nice to see him start.
Yeah,
Gusto is a good player. They just can't play an inverted role. That's either James or Concedo's role. Yeah, facts, Joe. 100% facts.
You were about Gyökeres there. They said that the Gyökeres was their second choice if that weren't on their radar. So it was going to be.
Well, that's something funny. Jackson can't do it. We need more than just another guy.
You need 2 or 3 strikers that challenge for that spot.
You know what it is? No, it's just buy one more. So we've got 3 players that can play there, or at least 2 if Jackson gets injured. Because I know for a fact you can bang Jackson out left.
Didn't you say on the stream? Right. Didn't you say you need a stream, a striker, a midfielder, and a defender? Yeah,
but I wouldn't mind having 2 strikers. Why not?
Well, no one would. I mean, two strikers that score goals and proven to score goals.
Cucurella is the highest goal scorer in 2025, bro.
Speaking of Cucurella, anyone seen Anthony?
I haven't seen him for a minute. No,
I haven't seen him for a couple. We've seen him for a couple of streams. He did. No, bobbed in Forest, didn't he? Bobbed in Forest briefly, didn't he?
Who, Anthony?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I haven't seen him. Right. What is he with Anthony? Has he gone MIA or something? Is he tracked across or something?
Definitely not last night. Definitely not last night. But I don't know if he said hello in the Forest game or not. I can't remember.
He might just be pissed off that Arsenal got another season finishing 3rd without a trophy. 2nd, sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Do you blame him?
Not really. So let me ask everyone, we'd probably give Betis out of a rating out of the first half. We'd probably give them like an 8 out of 10, innit? Because they did all they could with the quality they had.
Yes, perfectly. Yeah, big 8.
And with us, we'd probably get a 0 out of 10 because we were just doing all the wrong things.
Couldn't win the second.
Well,
I'll give Chelsea 3 because the simple reason is the passing was bad, but the defending was good at times because they could, like you said, you could have had 3 or 4. But there's some blocks in there first half. I mean, but I felt Chalobah was out of his depth a little bit because it was a mistake for the goal.
That was Balashidi that was at fault for the goal.
Balashidi as well missed.
He was well out of his depth and match practice. You can see it.
And so the 2 centre-backs were nowhere to be seen for that first goal. He had the ball, he passed it on to him, no defender marking him, and I'm thinking, well, that's...
No, they scored their goal from a lack of awareness. Because of the 3, Gusto doesn't track the runner. That's what it is. That should be Gusto's man. Where when the centre-back's covering and you should be following the runner to kill the space. But that's why when we play that inverted role, it doesn't work. Not properly as a back 5 because... The wing backs have to go so far up the pitch when they come back, right? They're too late to get into defensive positions to help. It's not for a back 5. It's not a system where you would say they tuck in and make it extra hard for you to get at the back. We weren't extra hard to get through at, in that first half. We looked so brittle in that first half. It was scary. But anyway, a real bit has just reminded me of the Premier League. Flop teams. Yeah, but bro, it is what it is, isn't it? But second half, different story. Would you like to take this one away, Stepsy?
Second half was just the last 10 minutes of the first half, Chelsea sort of got a hold of the game, and I thought, right, half time is coming at the wrong time now because Chelsea just started to get on top. I thought if they could start where they left off the first half of the second half, they'll win this game, and they did. They got on the front foot. They caused Betis problems, and then from there on in, it was one way traffic. Betis were trying to find an outlet, like I said, there was no outlet for them. When Chelsea came back out, the changes as well, which we'll go on to, made a difference. But it's just that the changes came at the right time when Chelsea were just starting to grab a hold of the game. They didn't know what to do with Betis first half. They didn't have a clue. Second half, they had an idea what to do.
You know what, right? I'll come down to the man of the match because I'm not being funny. If there's anyone that should be arguing with Palmer about who should got man of the match, and I never thought I'd say this, but it should be Jadon Sancho.
I stuck my neck out and said Moses. I went Moses.
No, my because of his effort and rate over the pitch.
Yeah, Sancho, if you're going all rating, Sancho would be man of the match, but because I'm only going for Moses because he got his goal and he played the whole game and was trying to command that midfield, and he did a good job because everything went through him to begin with.
Based on transfer rumours, what's your starting 11? Well, we'll go into that near the end, Joe.
Yeah.
Because obviously, this is what becoming the team that wins all the trophies should be about. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I'm not going to go in depth on transfers. I don't mind the general idea, but I'm not going to huff and puff over bullshit because the transfer window is not even open yet. So even if we signed the lap now, we still have to wait the transfer window to open before we get him. So
it opens Sunday for 10 days. Then shuts again, and then opens again in July.
We'll see, and who we get to take to the Club World Championships.
Yeah,
but I'm not being funny that
the whole window opens for 10 days on Sunday. So just
because as much as we want to talk about players in, we got to talk about players out. So yeah, but JPT, what's your thoughts on the second half?
Tale two halves. I mean, the light switch flipped. Enzo got the right substitutions out, starting with James. I mean, as mentioned, Gusto was horrible, and that was clear. He should have been subbed off earlier, but made the right call for waiting until halftime. Everything just clicked for Chelsea when the substitutions came on, because I think as well at halftime they brought on who was it? Sancho for surprise for Neto. I would have taken out Noni, but
yeah, we were surprised with Neto. We were surprised with the Neto one.
Well, yeah, because Noni hadn't done shit at that point. So you must have figured that Noni had all of his energy and that Neto was tired because Noni hadn't done anything. So
the best one, apart from Sancho, was definitely Colwell. Colwell made that.
No, I tell you what, yeah, on Levy, I have to say I'm actually quite surprised because I'm not being funny, right? Where's the guy I saw 10 games ago that was just a nerve-ridden wreck making mistakes, bro? Over the last 5 games, this guy's gone into beast mode.
You were slating him.
No, I was because he was shit.
No, you have every right to. But now, but it's like he turned a corner now, and when he came on, he was the beast of defence, and he blocked some shots and cleared them up. And Cucurella and Cucurella sort of fed off each other very, very well. They were in sync for that.
That's protected now. It's just looking to find a good partner for Colwell. It's crazy because Colwell was the one that were like, okay, we need to get this kid replaced, get this kid sold for pure profit, and it's amazing how this quick he's improved.
Well, hey, can I just ask you both quickly then? If he can keep it up, can he actually be that centre back that we all think he is, or we want him to be? Shall I say?
I think so. I mean, he's still young, so he needs to be nurtured still. But yeah, at the moment, if he keeps up the performances and looks more composed on the ball when there's pressure on him, I think he can be that player. Yeah,
just needs a good partner with him because I don't know if it's Charlie.
You need an experienced head next to him, so to talk to him, keep keep him on toes and stuff. But other than that, he I think he can be the player. Nurture him the right way, get an experienced player next to him. Yeah, I think he can be.
A 27-year-old we have in the team.
Yeah, well, yeah. We all want that 28-year-old next to him who's played Champions League football for all his
And
time.
it's Tosin 27. Thank goodness he has a
You
guy
need,
who's
what you need, what I think you need is a young Thiago Silva next to him.
Yeah, it's just who's available right now that could be.
That's the thing. You've got to think who's. But then again, now you've got the golden ticket of the player you pick is going to be playing Champions League.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, that kind of moves away from Colwell a little bit. But,
yeah. Arsenal and Chelsea find player. Okay, Chelsea also got Champions League. Yeah, also got Champions League. But Chelsea have got need that player, and have got a good system there.
Yeah, you know the difference between you know the basic difference between us and Arsenal going into the Champions League. We've already won it twice. End of discussion.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I'd rather go to Chelsea because the momentum's with you. You've got a young squad. There's people there that you can bounce off, and there's great players there. Palmer there. You got Cucurella who's playing well now, and all that. Just players there that
there's a base. It needs to be built on, but there's a base.
But if you get a player who can mould that defence, I think that'd be. I think Colwell there, and someone talking to him. I think it worked well.
And we've got to talk about.
It's like JPT said. Who's out there?
No, JPT. We mentioned it at the beginning, a few minutes ago. We've got to mention him again because obviously he's our captain. How much of a game changer was Reece James last night?
Very much so. But how much of that came from the I don't know how to pronounce the man's name. The guy who scored the goal for Betis, him being subbed off due to injury. How much of an effect would that have been? Because seeing how he did in the first half, I'm not sure if Reece James would have had such an easy of a game as he did.
Well, that's not the way this particular cookie crumbled, but we did that. He brought some but it's like he wasn't making as many mistakes as Gusto, and all those gaps on the right hand side kind of closed up a bit.
He did say they were talking about James, and he said, "Oh, well, James hasn't played many games last season. This season, we have to manage him the right way." So he said that's why I brought him on a little bit later. But he said, but I mean, like we saw, he was up and down that wing like a coach. Giving it all the team and all that, and when he's got that goal, that he
I like him and Enzo's headbutt. Did anyone see that? Him and Enzo, they probably like grind each other in the face, like.
James said,
like
James said, we can win this now. Mm-hmm. He had the belief. James had the belief there. He went over and said, we can win this now.
Mm-hmm. And on that as well,
the captain who said 1-0 down, 1-0, and still in the balance, saying that we can win this now is great. Is great positivity from a captain. Is what you want. You want a commanding person to go. You know what? Fuck it. We go there and win this now.
Now, how much? No, well, hang on. I'll ask. Okay, we'll keep this a group discussion. This is easier. So, what do we think about Enzo though? He did score the equaliser. He was a bit quiet. Didn't do much after that too much, to be honest. But he done enough to get the equaliser. Are we starting to see the Enzo we paid for, JPT?
Yeah, but now we just have to use him as like a crash boxing 8 instead of trying to force him to be a Regista 6. I think that just has to stop with the plans. Let him go forward as he usually does, and he will be a problem for any defense and with our attack, especially with who we're rumored with, Rodrigo rumored with, Palmer. If we get Gilchrist across the line or over the line, even without him to lap, I think we just need to find a proper, number 10. And actually, no, Palmer will be in the 10, and who will be not Rodrigo or Estevao.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one thing people forget. We've already got a load of fucking players coming in the summer, but they're all 17, 18. They probably got out on loan. A lot of them.
It's hard.
I would too many injuries to let him go.
It's hard because Palmer, you've given that the free role. I think Enzo would be good as a free role as well because if he's given that free role, he can manoeuvre up front and just drop back on that. He done a lot of dropping back in the first half against Betis because he had to. But if he was getting that free role, he can bring the ball out. He can pass it out wide and move up support the attackers, but Palmer does that. So if you've got two people that are free role, you're going to lose gaps. So do you want Enzo in a sort of advanced role and Palmer out the left, or do you want Palmer in that free role?
If you want a 3-on-3, I'll put it to you this way. That's the good thing about Enzo can do now, because on the right back position, considering that could be a defensive midfielder at times, that could be an extra 10 at times. But with summoning James with that, you can someone that can play inside and out in terms of as a right back and an inside midfielder as he's becoming to become. Or you can play someone like Concedo, who could be.
Concedo could do the mopping up. He does a dirty part.
And you can have a 3-on-3 if you like, because you could have the three centre backs. Then you could have an Enzo, Lavia, and Concedo in front of them.
That's if Lavia can stay healthy.
Well, that's the thing. That's why it's good to have him. Big up, Deals in the building. What are you saying, my brother?
Big up.
Big up, Deals.
Deals. Champion, ole, ole, ole.
That's called the Lily Phillips.
Wolfie, I moved houses now, you know.
Hey.
Oh, you moved? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What's the new place name?
Bro, it's calm, innit? But bro, man's living in like a shared accommodation place, innit?
Beautiful.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
People about, yeah.
It's got like obviously it's got other people here, innit? That live here.
Yeah, man.
But it's
man, you got your own room and you got your own space, bro. You're nice, bro. That's a good building block. You're nice.
I got my own room and that is cool. And
you got
yeah, man.
Say that again.
Bro.
You got to share a kitchen though, yeah?
Yeah. I got a shared.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. Every house started with one brick, bro. You just get to start with one room. That's it, bro.
The digs uni.
100%, bro. It's just another start, innit? Another fresh start. You get it.
Hey, mate. This could be the start of a new chapter, mate.
We're back, bro. We're back, bro. We're back. We're back. Even Enzo said it. We're back.
Wolfie, do you know Liz?
What's up?
Do you know where Liz is? Do you know where Liz is? Stepsy. This.
No, I can't think where that is, mate.
You don't know where that is?
No, listen, no.
That's
it's like 20 minutes away from Portsmouth. Right.
Is it?
Oh, Nice. Oh, right. I'll be talking about the game. My bad.
I've already been through it.
That's what. Because obviously you're on the coast, isn't it? So me and my missus are going to be trying to come down Portsmouth in October, by the way. So, but bear that in mind.
We'll link up though, Wolfie, 100%.
Yeah, because I want to go see Portsmouth Naval Yard, but because of that Warrior and all that.
Coach,
big up Chelsea Perspective in the building as well. How you doing, my brother? Big up. Champion, ole, ole, ole. Make sure you sub to Chelsea Perspective. Keep it real for the Blues. But yeah. So we move on. Jackson's goal. Action Jackson.
Goal.
Right. First thing I say is I'm surprised that goal wasn't writ off a handball, you know. It comes off the top of his arm. Comes off there.
Well, what happened with that was he sort of tried to because he was trying to get it with his head, but the ball was so low that he had to try and go down with it. So while he was trying to get it with his head, it sort of hit his chin, hit his shoulder, and sort of went in sort of side of his face and shoulder, like you said. Because the ball wasn't coming to his head, it was just below his head, so he tried to duck down to head it properly.
He's that shit.
But it went in. It counted. Handball or not, it was classed as a goal. So
sorry, I apologize. I just spun to the chat. He was spot on with everything. Who's he saying that he's jealous of our
I asked a question about I asked a question to Arsenal fans in the chat. What was the thoughts? Thierry Henry's comments on quote unquote Mikel's process when he called him out saying he's like, you know, what are they building? He's like, that's a big ass building. You've been building for 5 years, which y'all, you know, and he's saying like at this point you have to come out with a cup or something, compete like in a final, and you know, there's wondering. So and a lot of people came for his neck. How are you gonna come for your legend like that? How are you gonna tell him what it takes to win? He's gone invincible. He won
the actual gold trophy. What? Yeah. I'd be surprised if anyone could say anything to Thierry Henry. He'll just do it how he used to celebrate when he was just like Like that. Just like the little shake of that, the little shake.
No emotion, no emotion, just like
Yeah, how can you tell your knee about football, bro? This guy could like make people like just drop on the floor.
even though he's known for against Republic of Ireland.
I mean,
Well, I'll never forget when he folded Carragher inside out. That was hilarious. Well, he done Carragher for that dribble and that goal at Anfield.
You think Maradona's handball was bad? Thierry Henry's for France handball was good.
Oh, that was against the Irish. But anyway, well, look.
But yeah, you can't talk to him and put him in the
at least he just needs to admit, like, that was a handball. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. But that's by the by now. That's nothing. That's nothing to do with what we're talking about. So
no, like you said, Henry, you can't talk to the boy about football. He knows football. That is it.
Because as much as you like to say about like, it's like talking about Thierry on handball. It's like talking about Maradona handball. It's like, all right, he handballed it, but let's be honest. If he wanted to put you on your ass with the ball at his feet, he could.
But I'm just saying, I just brought that up. But I'm saying, yeah, you can't talk to him about football because he knows football. That is it. That's all I was getting at.
Take care, Rosie. Have a good night.
Good night, Rosie.
Sleep well.
Yeah,
but JK, tell me how you feeling, brother.
Wait, what? Sorry.
I said, tell me how you feeling, man.
No, I'm sorry. You know what? I don't usually read the comments, but man, oh my gosh, Rosie, you're funny. No, it was just a conversation. Excuse me, man said milking like your like your life depends on it. Pause. Oh my god.
Yeah, because look who's winning the champions. I was like, that's called the Bonnie Blue, the Lily Phillips.
Oh,
life
depends on it. Pause.
No. If you want to talk about Lily Phillips or anyone like that, you gotta be a bit wider with that and a bit more uppity. Like it's more like.
And then my man said, that's a good what dessert. I went, oh my goodness gracious me. Anyways. Wait,
JK sounds flustered, man. Someone get him a towel.
No,
give your head a bit of like a preacher. Just give your head a wet.
Let's keep this PG.
Little tissue. You'll be alright. Yeah. So the game. What? Tell me your thoughts, bro. Second half.
You know what? Yeah. As I said, there's some things that I want to get off my chest, and if I'm gonna be honest, I think rarely things will have changed in my head. You know what I'm saying? As I've been watching these games, and there were times where I was very harsh, especially on Maresca, on the players. Um, I think as well the last 5 games, especially the hard run that we have, we've actually showed a lot of character, and whether that's from the manager or from the players itself, you know what I'm saying? And this is the sort of Chelsea that we can. This is the sort of Chelsea that we kind of wanted to see, in a sense, especially the game yesterday. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to talk about that game specifically, I think the first half was very, very worrying, in my opinion. The first half was all Real Betis. I think the lineup. I really think the lineup was not good at all. And I think us having to start Gusto inverting, I think certain players like Badiashile and Gusto, players that we know that are not reliable to start. I think that was the only thing. But I think once we took them off, and I think once we adjusted, I think what it was, the players I think adapted well. I also realized that I think the changes also helped as well. We bring in Reece James. It was smart, very smart decision to bring in Reece James. And then there we switched Sancho. Sancho came on. I think he was doing better. I think Neto was very poor as well. But that's another topic for the other time. Cole Palmer, I think, wasn't that great in the first half. But as I said, we were clinical, and that's what we got. That was our reward. Palmer man of the match for me. I did not see that coming. The comeback was coming. And as I said, this Europa Conference League, listen, please do not listen to the rival fans. The Conference League for us is important in the sense of, you know what? This is something that the team can feed off. They need that winning feeling. So when I watched us lift that trophy, I was actually very proud. As in, like, after the 2 years that we've gone through, as these players have gone through these horrible seasons after seasons, fans booing in the stadium, this, that, and the other. You know what? At least they can come on and say, you know what? We were the last team to complete the set, and you know what that can do going
Right.
forward. A trophy could
You got to
kickstart
also think.
stuff.
I mean, you've
Um,
also got to think it's Europe. It's still a European trophy. It's still a competitive trophy.
yeah, a
It's
trophy's a
still,
trophy.
it's still,
Do you know what I'm
yeah. People
saying?
still say, yeah.
The end of
People
the
say,
game. Wait,
yeah,
the end
because
of
it's
the
still.
game is to
Chelsea,
win. The
Chelsea,
aim
let
of
him
the
land,
game.
let him land, let him speak.
The
Sorry.
aim of the game. The aim of the game is to win.
Well,
Otherwise,
yeah,
then what's the point of the? Otherwise, what's the point of football?
yeah.
Exactly. It's only the thing is the problem is the English PR and especially the way England have panned it out to be like league positions are this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? The way teams play can define the season. No, but then the thing is, it's only as I said, it's only England that think you know what, these trophies are this. We can't really write off any trophy. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that we as Chelsea fans need to understand. I'm not saying you us. There's some other fans that are trying to tell us it's only the Conference League.
JK,
Do you know what I'm
There's
saying?
JK,
one
But
thing.
JK,
Sorry.
JK.
hmm?
You see with Maresca, yeah,
Hmm.
and again, a lot of praises can be made, but there's a lot of improvements that he can be done on the job.
Yeah,
You know what I
I was,
mean? Because be real here. Let's be real here. Like Wolfie said, there is bad parts of his game in management. Like let's be real. Like it's not everything's doom and gloom. You know what I mean? Everyone thinks it's doom and gloom. It's not. Like there's a lot of improvement that needs to be done in this
Still,
team.
do you think Maresca sort of is learning as he goes along, like he's learning on the job?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
think. It's seeming like that's what's happening.
yeah.
If he evolves with the team, it'll be a successful project. If he
Yeah,
doesn't, right, you're gonna see what you saw last night with
yeah,
PSG and them like in the first half. But unlike Betis, who don't have the quality to score, they'll be tucking us in.
100%.
Just
it's
like
quite
how when
easy.
Sporting tuck City in and thingy was it Fenerbahce tuck Man United in, you're just gonna see all those cracks get
One,
opened up, bro.
I think it's quite
Last,
easy to see. Wait, you
Wolfie,
guys. I think it's quite easy to see the negatives in
I
this
Wolfie.
team.
This is another thing. Yeah, this
Wait,
is
wait,
another.
Wait,
hang on,
wait,
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 wait. Let
wait,
JK
wait,
speak.
deals.
There,
Hang on.
Teams that
Yeah.
we're
So
gonna
what
be
I was saying, yeah, what
in
I
the
was
Youth
saying is
Shield.
like I think it's quite easy to point out the negatives in my opinion, and I've complained about them. I can't. And another thing is the wingers. I think the wingers are not really getting used properly in a sense of the wingers that we have. They rely on overlapping fullbacks to be able to link up with each other with, and hence why they've not really been performing. They can't really do it on their own. Whether that gets sorted in the summer, I do not know even know. But yeah, another thing is inverting. There are players that we have that can't invert, and
Gusto.
clearly it's been costing us games. Gusto in particular. There's one thing that Chelsea fans like to do is that they like to say, "Oh, this player's rubbish. This player's rubbish." But let me tell you this. Ty said this a week ago, I think 2 weeks ago. If you guys do not understand the attributes that your players can hold and what your players can do in the system, you know what I'm saying? If you know your players' strengths and the manager's not utilizing it properly, then it's not really the player's fault, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying?
you got to
It's the
give props
same
to the
thing.
players. Though. I mean, the players that have not performed and getting stick, at least they're still um, at least they're still there battling for the team, not
And
letting
deep
the
it.
fans get to them because lot of young players can, if the fans get on top of them, they can deteriorate and not perform well. But you've got to give a lot of props to the youngsters holding their head high, trying to battle for the team. So,
But then,
but
Stepsy, what you need to realize, Chelsea have conceded the most goals off of individual errors. And in my opinion, you can make a case for that for the manager in the sense of
Tactical, yeah, it's tactical.
it's tactical. It's tactical, clearly. Because
but
firstly,
like me and Deals,
Hang on,
like me,
Spencer, well, let him land,
firstly,
because Bill's got to
because
speak as
firstly,
well,
when
because
you
I ain't
watch us
gonna.
play, there are games when you watch us play, whether we lose the ball in midfield or an inverted fullback, for example, can't really create like he can't make a forward pass, for example, or we get overrun from the midfield. There's always that in a sense. I know Cucurella can do it, but let's say we play Gusto. Also, we need to realize that Reece James, he didn't really do well in that role, but he gradually improved let's say each time he played there. I think that's something that we need to know as well.
I
I
think James
also
is one
think,
of the people that can adapt. If
yeah,
we look at
and
it, if we
also
look
we
at
need
it.
to understand. I think none of the wingers that we have are touchline wingers. They're most that's one thing. Another, no, this is nothing to do with individual errors, but we need to understand they're not touchline wingers. These are wingers that like to come inside most of the time. Some of them you can say are goal scorers, like Madueke, like he was. He was more like someone who wanted to like try and score, got crushed. Even at his time at PSV, you know what I'm saying. So we need to understand mostly the strengths of our players.
I think,
I
man,
don't
we
think there are
need a
some
bit
players that
more.
suit the
1
system.
minute, Sepsi.
I
Yeah,
just think
1
we
minute.
might be
I don't think there are some players that suit this system. And there have been
Mm-hmm.
teams that were able to. There were teams that we played against, whether we lost or draw, they were able to spot that weakness. For example, yesterday they saw that our
Big up,
wingers.
Mr. D.
Yeah, they saw that we used to like normally the wingers would play wide. So what they did, they locked it off. They locked off that side. That's why Neto tried to take on a man and they lost the ball. That's why Madueke was poor. You know what I'm saying? I know Sancho came on, but at the end of the day, when we went in front, we actually what we did to get the let's say the third and fourth goal, we were playing in transition. You know what I'm saying? So those are the sort of wingers that we have. They're very good in transition. You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
Sancho made a
But
difference because he was an outlet that when he was out on that wing,
He was direct.
he
He was
always
direct.
he was
he always
direct, exactly.
he always when they made the pass when Kim Madrid ball came on as well, he found the passes where the space was for Sancho. So I know you're saying like there's not much wingers they're not coming in. Sancho does come in, but he also gets back out on that wing. So I do like Sancho, but is he the finished article for you as a winger, or would you like to
No,
see him more?
good
No, I
player.
don't know. I don't
Good
What would you,
think
player.
so.
what would you say? To all of you, what would you say, Sancho, a winger or a second midfielder?
Inside forward.
For you,
Side
What
I
forward.
for
mean,
me?
I say he's an
Oh,
inside forward.
inside forward.
He's a
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
squad.
same.
Yeah,
He's not a first team player. I wouldn't class him as a first team player.
No, but what is
so
his role?
you
That's
can
Sepsi's asking.
He's an impact player. That's what he
impact
is.
player.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go. That's another way. That's a great way of putting it. That's
well, I
exactly
was
what
going
he
to
was
say,
last night.
I was just say, so you see him as an impact player coming on
But
and
guys,
Yeah.
I'm
when
concerned
players are a
about
bit
Neto.
tired, he can come on and do that
Hang on,
spark.
what's that,
But
JK?
I'm very concerned about Neto. Neto is not this bad. I'm sorry to say, but he's really not this bad.
It
Maybe
That's
was,
the
it was,
thing.
it was
He's
tactical.
JK.
yeah.
But like you said, JK,
It's all
he's
tactical.
ruining some players because some players don't want to play the system.
And
They
that's
don't want to.
Maresca's fault, I think. That's one of his negative. I feel like the system is hindering a lot of these players. And you can just see that. Nicholas Jackson, he's not a striker. And even as a
Yeah,
winger,
but I don't think that
I
was
might not trust
I
him.
don't
Hang
think that
on.
was a wide player. It's
Yeah,
the
and
same thing.
even Nicholas Jackson, I don't think I can trust him as a winger. That's another one.
See,
Cole
what we
Palmer,
think he's
He's
all
at
right.
backup at best.
Cole
I
Palmer, we've
think
seen a huge dip in his
we'll get on that. We'll get onto that in a minute about Jackson.
yeah,
He's done.
but then Cole Palmer, you need to realize he's had a huge dip in form. Okay, I know you know he's done well in the Conference League yesterday, but I'm talking. This is me analyzing the whole season because I'm trying to pick up Maresca's negatives and positives. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at players have really declined from last season. We need to really be honest, guys. You know what I'm saying? So, like for example, Cole Palmer, he plays this silly role where he would stay in the middle. You get told to stay in the middle of the pitch, so he wouldn't really be able to free roam like he did against Poch. So where he can go in the right wing, sometimes he can come in the middle, in a sense. But Palmer's not a player that has to stick to a certain position. He needs to like free roam to be
I,
able to
I,
like,
I
either
was saying, I
score
was
or
saying,
you want him
I was
to.
saying Palmer is more of a free run player. He needs to be the ability
Exactly, that's
to
the
do what he
thing.
wants to do.
But then this Maresca guy, he wants him to stay in a certain
Mm.
position, whether for him to create for Jackson. Firstly, you need to understand Jackson. He does not time his runs properly. First and he's not a striker. We'll get to that in the later, as Dio said. But I'm trying to say like since he can't free roam, what he has to do now, he needs what he does, he always just comes deep to collect the ball. You know what I'm saying? From there, he tries to like, I don't know, try to carry the ball up towards. I don't know if you see it, but he's always trying to like come short of the defender. He's not really like up the pitch more.
He's
I don't know.
not. He's not an off
He's
the back of the shoulder. He's not. He doesn't run off the shoulder as much as he should.
yeah, like
Would
that.
you
Like
say Palmer in certain
he
games?
feels like he's
Palmer
playing a
will,
10/8 role.
Hang on, we'll get to Palmer in a minute. We might as well talk about Jackson. Go on, JK. Finish what you were saying.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I feel like he's playing more of a 10/8 role, sometimes coming deep and sometimes just going forward. But yeah, other than that, you wanted to talk about Jackson, but yeah. Oh,
Yeah, no, I was gonna say because one thing about it is if any player was shown up in the first half of that game, as big up Mel. Jackson was one of them, because I'm not being funny. This is why because I know we're all going to talk about Jackson as a striker and all that, and now we need to get another one with the lap and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not being funny. That's been obvious since last season. That's old news, really. To be honest, it's just whether they pull their fingers out of their flipping ear rolls and do something about it.
I think the board finally realised that you need a striker, so that's why the lapse on the 30 million deal.
We need more than that, bro. Because
they found out that you need a striker last season. They didn't. It was like an Arsenal thing. We don't need a striker, but like Chelsea figured out. Hold on, we need a striker now. We need someone that can bang 15, 20 goals a season with the right service. I think Delap is an old fashioned striker who will put his body about and will get the service, because you've got the players there that will give him the service if they can gel.
But we need more than that, though.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
No. I'm saying it on to the next point. We still need more than that. The lap isn't going to cure all of our problems.
As a point for the striker, you've established that weakness. You're sorting that out. There are areas that you need to improve on. Yes, I get that, but you've established one problem that you're going to sort out. There are other problems. I get that.
I've always said we need two strikers, because I'm not being funny. Like JK's just alluded to, the other wingers. One of the reasons why they disappear out so much, because when they get doubled up on, they can't beat but two men. That's why Madwiki was getting shut down. And because don't get me wrong, that's the thing, right? Because I know you guys will struggle to think in your head over the first half of when he played against one person 1-on-1.
You got beat him.
Quite often, he did get past his first man. He just never got past the second, because they were going 5 at the back when they were defending. So he would beat the wing back and then go against the centre back and lose.
He beat the first man and didn't beat the second man. He then didn't. Then he reverted back to not beating the first man, laying it off. He's got the pace. He can beat his first man. He needs to use his power a bit more and have more belief in himself.
Because I was actually surprised that Neto came off and Madwiki stayed on. I was gobsmacked during that one. But when it comes to Jackson...
Neto was worse than Madueke, in my opinion. Neto was not good.
All right, well, fine. But I genuinely think Neto is a better player than him all around. Well,
both was poor. I
think Neto was very isolated out on that wing. I don't think... I think he needs more of a central role, because I think he can get involved more, because when he played for Wolves, he was like forward or play up front. I don't think Neto is right on the left hand side. I think he's isolated, and he's out of the game most of the time. He's like an MIA.
He's not a touchline winger. That's what Maresca.
There we go then, Dills. There we go then. Another player that's playing out position that Maresca hasn't adjusted to. It's another position out, not playing the right position.
He plays on a He plays on a transition more. That's what Neto plays on. But again, at the same time, yeah, I'm looking at the wingers' depth. Like, bro, let's be real here. We haven't got a lot of depth in the wing position. Like, that's another thing as well. If we had a lot of depth in the wing position, I think we'd see more competition and flowing in the depth in the wingers. You know what I mean?
There you go. There's another problem then. You saw the striker. Now you need to then there's another problem. The wingers. You need someone.
No. This is why. Wait, because this ties into what I was saying a minute ago about signing two strikers. Realistically, if you actually look at where Jackson plays in his natural position, he's a wide player, not a central player.
Yeah, he is a winger. 100%.
So, if you actually look at where he was, and when he went to Villarreal, he was a right winger.
He plays on the wing for his country.
So, what you need to do, this is why I said about after fight signing Delap, go get me a Seb Larsson or a Mateta, someone that can physically rattle two centre backs on their own. Because I'm not being funny, right? Because I'm not being funny. Seb Larsson, if you're going to sign Delap for 30 million, you've got change, because we expected you to sign Osherman. So at the 90 mil you were going to spend on Osherman 60 mil, you've got 30 mil change. Go and get me Seb Larsson or someone that can actually hold the ball up in the middle of the pitch.
Wolfie. Well, there's the talk is that we was in Sporting yesterday. I don't know who it was, yeah, but apparently they were in Sporting Lisbon talking about Gokares. Now,
Gokares is the one JPT mentioned to me earlier, strangely enough.
Yeah.
But I want to see it happen first.
Go on.
Because if that happens, because you mentioned the wingers as well, because that ties into the Jackson situation. Because we all know Mudrik's going to be MIA. He ain't never coming back. Mikailo's gone. He's dusted. His career's finished. We all know that. So, right, you sign Jaden Sancho up for 20 million, and you sign up thingy for 30 from Ipswich. So there's two. The 60 you would have spent on Osherman, whatever else. You've now spent on two players. You've got a striker. You know what I mean?
They want a big name. By the way, they want a big name for the winger position, and I'm gonna say that big name right now. Yeah, Rodrigo. They see him as a marquee.
Right. Listen. Rodrigo's coming from Madrid, bro. He's gonna want dumb money.
I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen. They see him as a marquee signing. They do see him as a superstar signing.
That's gonna be huge money.
That should be Gilchrist. Gilchrist could be the big name signing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many big name signings that can come here, really. But my opinion on the strike option is like, I think when Wolfie said about Strand Larson, I think those are strikers we should get unless we can't get Gyökeres. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I think we should let's just try to get Gyökeres first. Osimhen, I would like him here, but the problem is the wages.
Saudi.
They're not gonna pay him.
He's off to Saudi. He's going to Saudi.
And that's the thing. And Osimhen is gonna be chasing the money anyways. So
there's no way Osterman. There's no way you get him because he won't take the wage cut.
He's not taking a wage cut.
He's on big, massive wages, and there's no way he's going to take a wage cut.
This is why Galatasaray. Remember?
On loan. They're paying fuck all for him. They're paying nothing for him. His own team are paying his wages. It's just that he didn't want to play for them anymore. So and Galatasaray came and said, "Well, we'll give you a starting role. You can play for the game for us." He went there. Look, he's in it's like he went there to be in the shop window, but there's nowhere in the Premier League they're going to pay his wages because he's on big wages, and there's no way he's going to take a pay cut. The only place he can go them wages is Saudi, right? But if he wants to play football in a competitive league like the Premier League, he's going to take a wage cut. He's got money.
He ain't going to do that.
He doesn't need the money.
Yeah,
he ain't going to do that.
Take that pay cut. That's what you got to think. Is the player willing to take a pay cut? The player himself.
He's not going to take a pay cut.
It's selfishness, but we all know that.
So what are we talking about? What are we talking about then? The bloke's an idiot.
Right. Steffi, they're giving you an opinion, man. Just take a deep breath.
He's not going to take a pay
cut.
You know what? Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah.
Wait a second. Everyone went out of time. Deals wanted to ask a question. Then we go back to JK. And if Steffi wants to say anything,
Stepsy's right. Yeah, Stepsy's right on what he's talking about. How
I know he is.
The wages thing. He's not going to come down on a pay cut. But
I know that.
The thing is, yeah, Mikel is talking about Mikel, John Obi Mikel.
Yeah, I know, but he's a Chelsea. Of course, I know who John Obi Mikel is. I've watched him live, bruv. I know who John Obi Mikel was. Don't worry. Yeah,
he's talking a lot about Osimhen and that. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? If he's talking a lot about Osimhen, why doesn't he tell Osimhen to take the pay cut? Why?
But that's not going to happen.
He can't tell Osimhen what to do. Bro. Let me sum it up. Deals. Let me sum it up this way.
The agent's got to go his ear and say, "Look, mate, you're going to be playing for Chelsea. You're going to be playing Champions League. You're going to be the first name on the team
right,
sheet."
You can't do that. Football nowadays, you can't do that anyway. Like what Steffi said. Listen to me. Wait. Listen to me.
The right to do that. It's his
right. The player has the right to do that. Yes. But the age of the superstar footballer in England is dead. All right? And let me explain something to you. Teams in the Premier League now can't afford to pay people 300, 400 grand with PSR, the way the rules are as they are.
They just go to him, look, you'll be playing with Chelsea, the wages are going to be reduced, but you'll be the first name on the team sheet. Why don't you try it?
What you're trying to say is make the offer more lucrative, which is the problem. It's the problem. That's the problem. You're saying let's make it more. If you were serious, go do this, go do that. They can't. That's the point. They can't. Stepsy's no. Stop, you guys. If he takes a wage cut, if he grows balls, he can with a long cock, he can pole vault over a fence. That's irrelevant because he's not going to do that. Because otherwise, he'd be a Chelsea player from last summer. I said this last summer. He will not join us.
I did say that. I'm just saying.
He would have been a Chelsea player last summer.
On the hypothetical, on the other side of the coin.
No. What I'm saying, look at how modern football is in the Premier League, bro. They don't want Premier League to be played. No. I get what you're saying. No. This is not. I'm not trying to contradict you in any way. Shit. I hear what you're saying. If you're Victor Osimhen, you want to prove you're serious. You want to go win titles for somebody and prove you're one. That's what you do. You grit your teeth and you get on with it. But he's not going to do that, bro.
The problem with footballers, Monday footballers, and you agree with me, is they think about the money first before even thinking about playing football.
That's true, but at the end of the day, you're still thinking from the fan point of view, not the professional point of view. You know what I mean? It's his choice. It's his choice.
I want to play football first.
Bro, it's his choice. And I'm not being funny.
I get that. All the high profile we've got around him and all
it's irrelevant. Because at the end of the day, as far as I know, he hasn't won a trophy this season. We have.
I'm just saying, modern footballers today talking about money.
But cool. But I'm not interested in modern footballers in general because Victor Osimhen is not even a Chelsea player. So
you want to think about football first, money later, because you want to be playing football first.
Oh, that's irrelevant to this conversation because I'm not interested. I haven't been interested in what Victor Osimhen's been doing since Christmas.
I'm not fuck him for a minute. I'm about modern footballers want money. I'm thinking about real footballers want to play football first, money later.
Yeah, I get that. But that's a conversation for the broader spectrum of football for a different time, bro. I'm not looking in to get the moral fibre of football because no offense, I know how twisted it is.
But Wolfie, it's not even that. Even real footballers will want the money first.
No, I don't believe that.
That's their choice as footballers. That's the point when you're an overpaid, pampered twat.
People in the Premiership that are bench warmers for the money. There's people that go to the Premiership wanting to play football. There's people that are on the bench for not to the Premiership that are happy to sit on the bench.
Yeah, but that's not relevant to this conversation. Stepsy, as I said, I'm not interested. Let's stick to the subject at hand, which was players for Chelsea.
You said that footballers think about money first. I'll say no, they don't, because there's footballers on the bench that sit on the bench for 30,000 a week, sitting on the bench. But real footballers want to be on that pitch.
Right. I can guarantee there is no footballer. There is no footballer at Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Barcelona, or any of those kind of teams are sitting on the ground for 30 bench for 30 grand, bro. They're getting paid more than that.
You know what I mean? I was just.
I'm putting things into context for you, brother. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to argue with you or wrestle with you or detriment what you're saying in any way, shape, or form. I understand the climate. Let me put it this way: if you are dropped into a bottomless ocean, if you think you're going to die, it's inevitable. Like JK, and we've all seen it in the past when it comes to America, when they had all the players going over there in the 80s, when they had China in the 2000s, when they had Russia in the early 2000s with CSKA Moscow and all them lot, with Saudi now. Seriously, I've seen it so many times. It's normal. Like, they will go where the money is. And JK pointed out, one of our best players in Oscar, who was only 24, did the same. He went to China, bro. He went to Beijing FC.
He is a footballer. He's all about the money, the glamour, the highlight.
That's his choice.
Yeah,
that's their choice.
I get what you're saying. There's people on lesser wages that will do more. I fully understand that. But I'm not getting into the moral fibre of football right now. I ain't got that kind of time. I've got to work tomorrow.
I want to chat
I get what you're saying.
I want to chat to JK about something. JK, you know the links to Ikitie, yeah?
Oh, God.
Ikitie.
Right, listen, I want us to stay away from that striker.
I'll tell you why. JK, I was going to say this to you, yeah?
Yeah.
You see the links to this Ikitie, brother, yeah?
Hugo.
I don't like the sound of us trying to get him, because if we're going to get him, right, we got the lap. Like, there's no point of getting him and the lap, because they're both the same age, and we need a proven striker that can teach the lap. You know what I mean? We don't need another profile or number 22 a year, a 22-year-old. You know what I mean, Wolfie and JPT.
Yeah, I agree with that. We need someone who's experienced.
Can I just say something on Nketiah? Let me tell you guys something. I've been reading something about this guy. And I'm going to tell you point blank, he's similar to Nicholas Jackson. Let me just read you something quickly. Hang on.
I want to
Give me a
Seb
sec.
Larson.
Give me a second. Hang on.
Because that boy's hungry. Like Stepsy said, there's a guy on 30 grand that will fucking run for a wall for you.
No,
Like
but we should
Stepsy was
stay
saying
away.
about
We
a player that's
stay away
hungry.
from
That's
him.
the guy that. Hey, would you not agree, Stepsy? That's the kind of player who's hungry. Seb Larson. He's the guy that likes to. He's the guy that likes to swing it out with his centre backs.
The person that wants to prove himself at a
High level, yeah. There you go. If you want to, what Stepsy was saying about the hunger. If you want to see a player who's hungry, look at him.
A player like that will roll the show with pride and work for that team.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys.
And he'd be go on, JK, go on.
Let me just read this, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
This player went to PSG where Christopher Glather, whatever his name is, misused him as a target man. As we will discuss, that's not where Nketiah's strength lies. After a miserable first season of being lumped balls and not doing much with them, he was given one Liga appearance under Luis Enrique before going to Frankfurt on loan in his second season. He has signed since there permanently. The biggest change, though, from PSG from Frankfurt, I personally believe to be the case that this is Nketiah's physique. He looks much leaner than he is in Paris. He was never a target man, but he looks more like a winger than a
Do you know the
striker.
problem with him?
Tell me that does not sound like Jackson.
Do you know what the problem with him is?
Hey, wait. Stepsy, let him land.
Listen,
Okay,
tell me
that.
tell me that's a player that's not like Jackson.
You won't get him.
He sacrificed. Let me tell you this. He sacrificed a lot of muscle for added agility. There's tons of clips of him destroying defenders with quick feet, moving like a 5'6" player,
You won't get
not
him.
a 6'3" player. These
won't get him.
moments have come across a season that you can broadly split into two halves. Playing alongside Omar Marmoush in a two front, so he plays next to a striker. So he links up with a striker. You know what I'm saying? This is Jackson. This. So and there's a clip as well. Watch this guy play. This guy plays like Nicholas Jackson. He plays exactly like Nicholas Jackson.
You won't get him.
I agree with
So we should not
JK.
we should not touch him at all. We should
But
not
you won't
touch
get him anyway.
He's not been.
Yeah, they're just talking in theory, Stepsy. That's all.
Yeah, I was going to say because
So let me tell you this.
Wait, Stepsy, let him finish. I know you got energy to the conversation. Just let him finish.
Wait. On Osimhen, last summer, Conte froze him out because he was looking for a club and he made it clear. You know what? He doesn't want to play at Napoli. You know what I'm saying? But then the thing is, he wanted a bigger challenge, as you said, right? And obviously, he wanted a Premier League move. The problem was his wages were too high. He demanded too higher wages. So what happened was Galatasaray came. It's not like Osimhen wanted to even go to Galatasaray. You know what I'm saying? He only went there for the money. You know what I'm saying? So
apparently they didn't pay no money. They paid a percentage. It weren't a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot, but you still getting the money he wanted.
They got the money.
He was still getting the money he wanted. You know what I'm saying? Split between the two clubs.
Yeah, but I think Galatasaray were paying like 20-30%. And nobody said, well, he doesn't want to play for us.
He wasn't finished. Let him finish.
Sorry, but
no, you can have your say. Just let him finish.
What were you saying?
The Galatasaray thing, that's what I was going, and I was going to finish. I was just saying the Galatasaray thing wasn't as plain cut as everyone thinks.
No, that's fine.
Therefore, I don't think Chelsea will go for Osimhen. So, in my opinion, I think Gyökeres is the real thing. I think that's the actual striker that we should aim to get. Although Wolfie has been talking about Strand Larson, there's Evan Nilsson there.
JK,
you know what I'm saying? This guy and the other.
JK.
You know what I'm saying?
Mateta, bro. We need a Mateta.
Mateta, but the thing is, these are all alternatives for when.
JK.
Go on, Dills.
JK, do you think we will get another striker? Do you think we will?
I think we should, and I think okay. I'm gonna listen. I put my heart to my chest and say we will, but like at the same time, we need to remember who our sporting directors are. Yeah. They are flipping dumb and dumber. So,
JP, do you think we will?
That's what I was about to say. JPT, what do you think?
We need to. Delap is a good option, but only if we're going to get a veteran or like an experienced striker. I don't want a one-season wonder at Frankfurt and splashing the cash on him. The fact that they want 84 mil for him is ridiculous.
Bit more than that.
I agree on that.
That's a 3 million, three-figure million thing on his head. He's got 3 4 years.
Who's got a 3-figure sum on his head?
Huh?
Hugo.
Who's got? Oh, okay.
They want 100 mil euros for him.
They want more than that. They want more than that. They've always said they want more
Either
than
way,
that
once he
price.
said 100,
BPT,
it's
he's
topless.
really, he's not even good. He's not even that good of a player.
No, but
One season.
I've seen him.
Frankfurt always said, until you put up the cash that we want, there's like 150, 200 mil, you ain't getting him. They said this.
Go on, JPT. Finish what you were saying, my guy.
Sorry, JPT.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say, if we're gonna spend that much money, why are we going for the guy who just scored about like 60 plus GA in Portugal?
And he's cheaper.
But what you got to think is Chris, right? What you got to think is Chris, yeah, right. I'll be honest because I'm a fan of two country play. Chris was good in the championship. He lit it up, right? He scored quite a lot of goals. Yeah, like you said, Portugal he's lit it up. Portugal's not the Premiership though, is it? Can he adapt to the Premiership? Yes, I will admit. Yes, he's young and he will get time, but can he do it straight away?
Who are you talking about?
Chris.
Listen. I have my two thoughts on Gokares.
I'm just saying he done it. He did it up in the Championship. He done it in Portugal, but this is the Premiership we're talking about.
Let me speak.
We know that.
Let me speak. Let me have my opinion on the Gokares situation. Right now, we got players around that can assist Gokares. If Gokares is going to be around the box and is a fox in the box, listen, he's not very good at heading goals. We know this. He's not a heading goal.
He's not a target man.
He's not a target man. He's not a, you know what I mean?
No, I know this. I know
he's more like a shooter in the box. Now, if we got the balls into the box, right, we're crossing the ball into the box. Look, he's got a height on him. So, like, again, we're gonna need him to be in the box and be ready for, like, when we got the balls into the box. You know what I mean? But is he gonna score goals through heading? And that's the issue that I have with Gokares.
Remember, you're saying about man in the box. Yeah, I get that. That's perfect. Yeah, he is a man in the box. He can score goals, but he's got can he adapt straight away? Can he go in the starting lineup straight away?
I think so.
Not played the Premiership before. Only played Championship and only played Portugal. This is Premiership. This is Chelsea.
He is a good.
Well, he's supposed to be signed as the big man, and you fucking bet your bollocks to a barn dance you start straight away because you're supposed to be the main man. Like you said about hungry players, if you're Gokares and you finally come to a big team,
I was just saying, I've seen Gokares play. I know Gokares. I know he scored a lot of goals in Portugal. I know he's been Man United part, but Man United. I think we could put a team out and beat Man United at the moment. But it's just I'm on about Gokares is a player that does he need time? I'm not saying he does. I'm not saying I could be totally wrong. He could go straight.
Laughing, man. Deb laughing, and if you think too, it'd be much cheaper.
Let them battle it out. Because, bro, the Lap and Gokares, they can battle it out for the.
All I'm saying is,
I remember having fucking Anelka and Drogba in the same team, and they were battling it out. Yeah.
Yeah,
and they played nine together too.
But they were proven. They've been in the Premiership. Delap has had a season in the Premiership, so he's ready. Gokares hasn't been in the Premiership yet. I'm just saying, can he hit the ground running? I hope if he does come to the club, I hope he does.
Right, well, put it this way. That's theoretical, isn't it? Because he's not even our player yet, so we'll have to get to that. We'll cross that when it comes to it. We'll cross that when it comes to it. Yeah, I know that. That's why I said, but in actual, we'll have to cross that because now I just want to move on because this is all theoretical, but I want to go back to the facts. The facts of the situation I've got.
Before we move on. If it comes to the fact where these players are not aerial threats, don't you not think Maresca kind of has to hinder some stuff with the wingers, as in like?
Well, it depends because we're all saying what we want.
Yeah, to think about coming inside.
JK. Are you worried about Esteval coming, JK?
Or if Maresca is going to play him as a touchline winger, then yes, I am.
Well, I'm not being funny. We've just stated about how he doesn't use the right players in the right positions at times, so it will depend, won't it? Because this is all theory when you're talking about, this one might come. Yeah, exactly. That.
Yeah, I just hope if we can play our football, more on the ground.
Right. Well, that's what I was just gonna say. Because depending on who he buys, you have to. Like we were talking about dimensions of football and who's good at doing what, and Stempsy said that as well. Like. It depends, because if you've got a guy like Google, you're better off playing the ball into his feet anyway. You don't have to play the ball into his head. You know what I mean? So, like, that's just part of crossing. But anyway, I hear what you're saying. But
JK,
one thing about it is,
JK, you know
When
who?
you
You know
want an
JK. You know
all-round
who?
player, though, when
You
you
know
want
you know Esteban. Who Esteban reminds me of? JK.
I want
Savio.
someone that can do both steps.
Yeah.
JPT. You know who
Well,
Esteban
all-round
reminds
player,
me
don't
of?
I'm gonna take a
He
guess.
he
Say Willian.
he reminds me of Savio, and
Damn it.
Savio at Man City. He's not really done that well this season, and I'm worried that this system is similar to our system is similar to Pep's. Now,
Yeah,
Exactly.
but the difference is they haven't had a midfield. We have. Because since
yeah.
they lost Redri in December, their midfield has completely crumbled. So
Yeah.
Savio hasn't got the ball.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't judge him too. Hey, that guy's a fucking bully. Don't judge him too harshly.
It's the system, Wolfie.
Yeah, because City have had a lot of Bruv, I have to say, if you want to talk about a collapse and not preparing for it, City's it. Because they had no real DM backup, and De Bruyne, he's finished. So that's why he left. So City have got their own real. Fuck City, man. I'm glad they're in the dirt. The trophyless. I don't care about them. Like, fuck them. Big up Simon. Says, hey, sirs, big up, brother. Hope you're doing well. Wait, sorry, this is Simon. How you doing, my guy? But one thing with City, they had no midfield and they were starved of the ball. That's why a lot of teams beat them because Kovacic, he ain't a ball-winning midfielder. He's a ball carrier. But the problem is you got to get the ball to him.
Word. He's not a ball. He's not a ball winner. No chance. He's not.
That's why when we had him and Jorginho in midfield, we were getting spanked because no one would cover the ground. As a Cancelo got signed, someone who covers the ground, because that's the thing about what Stepsy was saying about you got to be aware of what these players have and present. Because another thing we haven't mentioned today, Zubimendi to Arsenal. That's a good Jorginho replacement, but realistically, signing a midfielder wasn't their problem. So, in terms of us, it all depends on how we go. Because this is and this is one thing I want to raise before. Every time we've had a talk about an achievement in the middle of the season, Enzo always plays it down. So, as much as we've all got dreams of Chelsea's mighty return next season with Osherman up front and the lap on the right and fucking someone else from Real Madrid or Rodrigo on the left with, 27 goalkeepers behind. You know what I mean? All this is speculative because no matter what expectations we have, these guys are going to dampen it anyway to cover their own skins.
Listen. We're gonna be playing in the big boy competition. There's no time to be messing around. You know what I mean? I don't want to be seeing the academy boys rock up to fucking to Barcelona and these sort of places, bro. Because this ain't a joke.
I'm not being funny. Like I said earlier in the stream, if we play in that first half against a Barcelona or a PSG or whatever else in the chat, we're done. Because we don't get a chance to come back second half because Lewandowski gets a hat trick in the first.
Facts, Wolfie.
Remember, it's not just a little bit of a gap we're supposed to be jumping up. We're jumping up quite a big one because we've gone from the baby to the mumsy. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like that's a big jump. You know what I mean? Like, so it is what it is. Hang on, who's that? Is that TT in the background? Big up, TT. What are you saying, my brother? You good?
Yes. Yeah. Wait. Oh.
We can hear you. Just to let you know.
Okay. Oh, right. Because my thing is that okay. Never mind. Usually when I'm talking, like you see like the breathing, I didn't see, so I was wondering.
Yeah. What's your fault, brother?
Sorry, I just jumped on. I have no idea what you're really talking about.
Oh, in that case, then. Ignore TT. No, we were just talking about the strikers here. Who would you like to see us sign as a striker? Because it looks like we're getting to lap. Who would you like to see them buy? Because we're all kind of writing Victor Osimhen off at this point. Who would you like to see bought?
Just
Can you hear me?
Just be agreed.
What are you thinking about it?
I think he's thinking.
Okay. No one?
TT there?
TY.
Is he gone?
I don't know. He'll join or he'll get his
Yeah,
answer.
he's disappeared again.
Just if anything, type your
It might be
answer.
it might be his Wi-Fi. It might be his Wi-Fi because sometimes he has trouble with his Wi-Fi. All right, but yeah, and to answer Mr. B in the chat, yes, we know Cisco's going Arsenal, and none of us care. so like, it's one of those. Yeah, they can have him, man. The only reason why they're not paying bro, I can't believe that they were going to pay 60, but then the guy re-signed his contract. Now they have to pay closer to 90.
What do you guys think of Sesko, by the way? What do you guys think of that Sesko guy? Because I don't.
Bro, no. I ain't got time for this starting to talk about Sesko now, like, because I want to move on quickly. Because this is what I was going to talk about.
What do you think about him, Stepsy? What do you think of Sesko? You think he's good?
Nah, there you go. That's Stepsy's opinion in a nutshell. But wait, everyone's gone. Why is everyone disappearing? I don't get it. Like, there's JK's back. Why is everyone vanishing?
There you go.
I don't get it.
JK,
I don't know. There was a connection issue, I think.
JK, do you rate Sesko?
No, I don't.
There you go, though. There you go. So Arsenal, good luck with that. But right now, I've got to quickly ask. Maybe TT might come back. I'm not sure because he's gone mute again. I can see it on his side, and he's just gone mute again. But anyway, last night we completed a trophy set. Now everyone thinks it's 3. It's not actually. It's actually 4.
He's there.
Every fucking where. TT.
Wait, are you here? TT, are you here?
Hello. Oh my god, what's going on with this thing?
Is that you? Did you just go hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we can hear you. Yeah, great. Yeah. So who would you like to see sign then?
Oh, this is a very difficult question. Everybody has asked me, so I found a way to avoid it, but I can't avoid it now because you've asked me in front of other people.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, it's fine. It's complicated, man. It's complicated because I'm worried about the options that we're interested in and the options that we likely can get and how much they'd suit the Premier League or how much of a challenge it would be. I'm leaning towards Yorkers or Ekitike isn't a bad option, but there's some aspects of his game that just reminds me of Jackson. Striker instinct is way better, but in terms of positioning and all of that, it can be very bad at times. So that's my concern. Yorkers is deemed as somewhere that doesn't really do well early, which is literally a problem we have with Jackson. So would we be improving on Jackson in that sense? And obviously, Dilap being signed, he can do something early. He's way better than Jackson. That's that. So you get an improvement with him. But I'm leaning towards Yorkers for 2 reasons. Yorkers from the options that we're linked with are based on what is being quoted. He's a bit more cheaper. It's still a very high price, but it would obviously be a bit cheaper than getting an Ekitike. So
what's the wages he's asking for? What's the wages that Gokres is asking for again?
It's something like 40 to 60k, I believe.
No, he's on 36 euros a week. We can give him 100, 120. He'd be happy.
That's what I heard, but I don't know what he's on. What he's on, but I heard it's 40 to 60k a week. That's what I heard.
I heard he's asking.
I heard that as well.
He's asking for 200 a week.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Are you sure about that?
Wait. Don't avoid the question. Wait. Stop. Everyone stop. Because I want him to answer the original question so I can go and have my blasted shower. So you're going to answer the blasted question, TT.
40 to 60k a week, I heard.
Oh my days. That's hilarious.
You, boy. I'm talking to you, boy.
He's making about...
What was the answer for that? What are the wages that Gokres wants? What's the rumor that he wants?
I don't think he said.
I have no idea what he wants.
He's not really picky. I think I'm just shocked.
He's not picky.
How does he earn that much? And
the thing, all right. This is he's earning. All right, so he's earning 75,000 euros.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, so it weren't far off.
I'm just like, man.
Yeah, but TT, you haven't answered my question. Who would you like to see signed?
He said Gyökeres.
Yonkers. I said I'm leaning towards Yonkers.
Is that your definitive answer?
Yeah, I said I was, and I gave you a very in-depth explanation as to why.
Well, fair enough. I'm just asking
Yeah,
because I don't want you to suddenly
hang
change
on,
your mind
wait.
because you do that sometimes.
Oh wow, wow!
You do change your mind. That's not a bad thing, bro. Everyone changes their mind. That's a human thing. That's not an insult.
No, I know
People can change their mind.
it's just that I didn't know that you recognized that. Well, yeah, it's true. It's true.
So really, there's no excuse for.
Oh, thanks. Like, I'm a human being myself, bro. Hopefully, I'm not a genetic mutant. Someone could have been lying to me. Who
So
knows?
what are we saying then? Get rid of Jackson. Or is that what the man them saying?
No. Well, what I was gonna say, I was gonna go back into my point and say, no, we keep him, put him out wide, and we sign up Sancho. At least that patches the squad up, and then we can sign 2 strikers, Delap being one and someone else.
Bring me Rodrigo, and then we can party.
JPT's been saying that from the first sentence.
That's true.
I mean,
You are pretty close to a genetic mutation. Go fuck yourself. What? Go fuck yourself. What? You're pretty close to a genetic mutant. Oh, thanks.
Well, did JPT say something? JP?
Oh, so I didn't mean that rudely to anybody else in the TT bomb. All right, fair enough. Yeah, sorry, JPT.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I saw that something here just by Google is saying that how much Gyökeres is rumored to be requesting for his wages, and it's showing here as he's expected to command over 200K a week.
I told you, lot.
Last offer was from Arsenal where they offered him around 240K a week, which honestly,
that's a huge jump what he's on. So he's on 75K a week at the moment. That's a huge jump.
And then again, look at the wage. I mean,
because
after taxes, what's that going to be? 140.
That's a huge jump.
Right. That's a huge jump. But we're getting distracted again.
Compared to what Osimhen is question.
Yo, it doesn't.
Sterling is earning.
Something like that. No, Sterling was on like 300 grand.
320 a week. We can afford this.
Does that include goal bonus as well, or was that just their basic wage?
No, that was probably just basic wage.
They might do that, jump. They might put him on a certain wage. They might put him on a certain wage, like if you get this amount of goals, if you get that amount of goals in competitions, because remember we're in the Champions League and all other cups as well. So it might be a goal bonus that they agree with him. You know what I mean?
Just one question. I want to move on.
That much money we can.
Do you feel? And because I was talking about this the other day with some friends. Do you feel that the FA Cup now is undervalued?
I did 2 streams on that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Go back and watch my one with Ken and Jez about the FA Cup being underappreciated. And the answer in short is yes.
Yeah, okay.
It was good back in the days, but I don't know about nowadays, man.
No. It's the oldest cup competition in the world. Pay some respect to the FA Cup.
No. Everyone rates the Champions League, man. The Champions League is the best.
No. Wait. Why are you comparing? Right, one's a domestic cup you can only win in England. Anyone who plays in the Champions League can't win the FA Cup. Well, unless they're an English team.
Bro, when the Champions League's on, everybody in the world watches that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but everyone in England watches the FA Cup.
They market the Champions League more than they do the FA Cup.
Because the FA Cup is only for England.
So that again.
But you do realise what's the most watched cup final after the Champions League final? The FA Cup.
The World Cup.
World Cup is big.
The World Cup's bigger than the Champions League final.
Billions watch the World Cup. Billions.
That'd be a lot bigger. Hang on, I think JPT. Yeah, he's just gone. Hi lads. Hi TT. Oh, he's gone again. Oh no, he's back again. All right, TT's all over the shop. Anyway, but whether you value the FA Cup or not, that depends on the fan nowadays. That depends on whether you're old school, new school. You believe the modern hype about, because that goes into what Ross the boss was saying a little while ago. You can't dismiss silverware because winners win.
Yeah.
So I'm not being funny, right? And I'm not being funny. You can't do a domestic double without the FA Cup. So you know what I mean, or you can't.
Arsenal fans, we all know why Arsenal fans love the FA Cup, because that's what they want. That's
the thing is, you got to remember that used to be so hard to win, and it still is quite hard to win actually. But the thing is, it's just like, you know what it is? It's the money in football that's devalued it. And the main reason why everyone wants to get in the Champions League is because
of the money.
Yeah.
Isn't the prize, or not you speak about FA Cup, but isn't the prize money for the Carabao Cup like 100,000 or is it 1 million? I don't remember what it was.
It's a lot cheaper. It's a lot more cheap than the Champions League. I'll put it that way. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot cheaper. But that's why I want to get onto my next point, and I'll go through the whole part. I was going to ask JPT this, but he's on Mrs. duties, right?
What I can say, Wolfie. So what I can say is that I think if you're starving off a trophy, I think you value those sort of cups more. Let's say you're not doing well in the league and you're trophyless for like 2 years, or I think certain fans will value it more. As you said, it just depends on the fan. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
well, the thing is, it also depends on the level of club. If you want to get deep into it, because like I said earlier on, right, when I said about what you value or not, and you just put it into great context yourself. You just said about a team that doesn't, right, Spurs to Chelsea. A Europa League with us would be like, yay! A Europa League to Tottenham's like, right, there's standards. Yeah, that's why when Spurs, that's why when Spurs won the Champions League, Chelsea fans didn't even bat an eyelid because they were like, "We've won the Champions League twice, bro. Yeah, you can have a Europa League."
Wait! Did you just say when Spurs won the Champions League? They never won the Champions League.
Yes, they have.
When?
No, they've won they've won a European Cup way back in the day, but they've not won the Champions League. They have not won the Champions League.
If we're being specific as to what it's called.
So it's basically
it was reformatted.
So Tottenham won the Champions League, the European Cup, like Forest did. European Cup that now is the Champions League.
Basically, yeah.
Right.
But Forest also have never won the Champions League. They won the European Cup.
It's European Cup.
You put it into context.
European Cup.
It's like how the first division turned into the Premier League.
The same shape.
The European Cup the European Cup was the domestic European Cup.
Well, hang on. What year did they win it in, though? Because that will have a lot of bearing on it.
Early 80s, 80s, 90s, early 90s, I think.
80s, maybe 70s.
Forest won it in the 80s.
They won it consecutively.
No. Forest won it back to back in the 80s.
Yeah, 1979 and 1980.
That got turned into.
I know when Forest won. When did Spurs win it?
Oh, fuck knows.
No, TT. I'm going to get TT to check.
They won the Europa League.
That's what I was about to say, because I'm pretty sure they won the Europa League twice, but I don't think it's the big one.
In the 80s, it was the big one.
Tottenham won nothing apart from what they won now.
Right, we'll put it this way. Either way, going off Tottenham, because but I was just I was just acknowledging the context in which they made the point.
European Cup got turned into Champions League,
but it's funny actually, because that what we've just now spoke about leads me on to my next point. That's why when I said we complete the Sophie set, I don't say 3 trophies, I say 4, because we've won every single trophy UEFA have ever produced. We've won the Cup, Cup Winners' Cup, the Super Cup, Champions League, Europa League, and Europa Conference League.
Yeah, you've won them all.
We've won
every trophy in Europe. You won.
Every single
trophy.
Cup Winners. What about the Cup Winners' Cup?
That's the first one I mentioned.
Really? I could have sworn I heard you said something else. Anyways,
no.
So that's 4.
I said 1972, 1972 and 1985. That's the Europa League or the European Cup, baby girl. I said, by the way, I said the Cup Winners' Cup, I said the Champions League, I said the Europa League and the Europa League Conference. Yes,
Wolfie, sir. Thanks for bringing me on, bro. Big up Stepsy, big up TY, big up JK.
Come on, Joe. You know I love you, man. You're my guy, man. Come on. And I'm glad to hear you. And I'm glad to hear you moved your place.
Big up Deals. I'm glad the move went well. And
big up JK, big up TY.
Well, buddy.
My bro.
Hey, but before you go, Deals, what does that mean to you? Oh, he's gone. Damn it.
My days.
Well, let me ask TT first, then we'll round off the stream, then I'll ask JK, and then I'll ask what steps it. Whoa. Oh, JK's gone now as well. What the fuck is my guy stuck it out on me for? Alright, never mind. Alright, TT, you're the only other Chelsea fan here, nah? What does that achievement mean to you now that we've completed the set and we've gone all the way around and we've collected every single trophy UEFA have ever invented?
Yeah, is it?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's, I'm gonna be honest because honesty is the best policy.
Yes, sir.
Initially, after it, and I think I'm sent this message to you as well. I had a bitter taste in my mouth because the way in which I saw the players celebrating, it made me feel weird. And then I said, you know what, this is not the same Chelsea. I keep saying I've accepted it's not the same Chelsea, but it's sometimes it's difficult, for me at least, to look beyond the fact that okay, it's a completely different Chelsea. It's still the same entity, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's different. But I mean, it's good. When I look at it, I said, yeah, it's fantastic, and not just winning it, but to show that each time that we got quote unquote demoted to the second flight or even the third flight, we don't just competing it, but we actually win it. So each time we're in the Europa League, we won it. We were in the Conference League one time and we won it. And obviously,
it shows quality. Yeah. It shows quality, Tyrone. Yeah. That's what it shows. It shows quality. That's what it does. Because if we
that's the first time you caught it. That's kind of weird. Oh my God.
Oh, but it's true though. Like it shows quality because like we were saying, that's the thing, right? It's funny how and this goes back to trophy appreciation. It's funny how Arsenal have put the trophies that say, okay, and this is just an example. I can't actually honestly say I've heard a real Arsenal fan they don't want to win a cup, but that's why the idea of them looking down at a trophy, and it's like, hang on a minute, you haven't won a Premier League or a Champions League in 20 years. What fucking God-given right have you even got to dismiss an FA Cup or to dismiss a League Cup? You know what I mean? That's why Newcastle are riding high right now and you're not. They've got a League Cup. You think they give a shit? Like, that's their first trophy in God knows how long. You think they care? Look at Spurs with the Europa League. You think they care? It's a trophy. And both teams had a better season than Arsenal because they both got Champions League football too, but with a trophy. So it depends on how you... Because think of it. Even Palace had a better season than Arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
Crystal Palace had a better season than Arsenal. And that's a God-given fact. Because if anyone turns on Ray and says, oh, well, they got Champions League football, motherfucker, they got knocked out of Champions League football this season. They didn't win it.
His first season at Palace has won a trophy more than he did at Arsenal.
Harry Kane, Spurs, and Eddie Nketiah have all won. Even Romelu Lukaku won a trophy. Your defense is in trouble.
That's the wrong club. I was about to say somebody else, but that's the wrong club. That's Man United.
United. Oh right, yeah, the mighty United, all the way in 17th, mate. The championship's calling. I hear the championship calling their name, brother. But Stepsy, yeah, man, the complete trophy set. Yeah, what's your opinion, man? The only club in world football to do it, bro.
We say Real Madrid are the most successful team in Europe, but they haven't won all the trophies, so they're the Champions League elite, right? But you're the elite. You're in a league of your own. You're the elite club that have won every single trophy. So you could be a blessing, and it also could be a hindrance because you could be gunned now because they're going to be thinking, you know what, Chelsea won everything. They're the big guns now. They've won everything. Should they be gunning for you?
Well, yeah, of course.
There you go.
Everyone wants to take down top dog.
What it will do is rejuvenate the players that play in that final and are part of an elite club now. So you've got the likes of Corwell, Palmer, Dewsbury Hall, who played played most minutes in the European Championship this season for Chelsea.
He had a good assist as well, by the way.
Yeah, he got assist with Sancho. You got Georgeson in goal, who played every minute of the Champions League. These players that played every minute of the cup are going to be going right. We've got a chance now to prove ourselves in the Champions League. So it's all good, but there you are in the league club now. So you are going to be gunned for, but this brings a whole different dimension to your club that people are going to want to join you, hopefully, and you're there. You're like, no one can touch us at the moment because we've won everything.
As you said. be on the up and up. Oh, there you go. 1972 is the UEFA Champions League for Tottenham. So there you go. They have won the big one, apparently.
So you can sell yourself as hindrance, also a blessing. The blessing is on the side of rejuvenate the team. The downside is everyone's going to be going for you because you won everything. But
fair enough.
That's the joy of football.
It is.
Come at us.
Anyway, TT, have you got anything coming up, my young brother? Coming up over the weekend or near the end of the week? Because the girls had a good season as well.
They did.
Well, it remains to be seen, depending on what happens. Everything I do have is that I did make a Delap video. That's about it. And I wanted to quickly mention this. Why I was saying I have a bitter taste for most, because celebrating it is good, because obviously it's done that, because we've proven that when we're in it. But I'm just saying the reason why we've done it, because a lot of the top teams they've not been demoted to it. So it's a mixed bag. I don't want to be too critical, but it's just a case of a lot of the teams haven't done it because they've never been demoted to it, or they've never.
Well, I'll put it this way. If I'll put it this way, right? If you're thinking about a bitter taste because it's a bit like, should we be in there? Should have not been there. We actually finished in a Europa League place. We got disqualified down to the Conference League because of Man United. Don't worry, they got their comeuppance in the final and in the final league position. Yeah. So they got their comeuppance. And realistically, if we're in it, you win it. Simple. Because I don't know about you, but as a Chelsea fan, I want to win it all again and again and again and again.
I know it's a relatively new competition, and it's not been around for years, and people are still adjusting to it. But it's still a European trophy.
Well, any trophy is good, bro. There's no such thing as a bad trophy.
At the end of the day, it's still a trophy, and you've got, like you said, you've got to be in to win it.
And there's no such thing as a bad trophy. The only people that say there's a bad trophy.
There isn't. Shit,
the only one I don't include is the Community Shield or the Club World Championship. Other than that, if you win a trophy, you deserve respect. Yeah, I'm not even going to get into the Club World Championship.
Isn't the competition just a play, but it's flat?
Oh, don't worry about it. But anyway, look, we're going to wrap.
Because you're not going to have a big summer, so you've got to play in that, so...
Well, do you think that will get a lot of goals for you? He's a better team now with a little bit. Well, I'll tell you what, with the lap, I don't really give a fuck. You know why? Because I'm not hoping that we rely on this guy. Because that's the beautiful thing about it, Chelsea. Like, we should have options. And I'm not, like I said, all stream. I want 2 strikers, not 1. So, and I'm not being funny. Well, I'm not being funny. Like, if you want to play a profile, I said it earlier, give me Seb Larsson or Mateta. They're Premier League proven, and Seb Larsson wouldn't be that expensive. No, he'd be cheaper than a Gyökeres or whatever else.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not being funny. If you want to talk about, I'm a big fan of sign smart, not stupid.
Yeah.
And sign what your team actually needs. Don't just sign someone because somebody else thinks it's a good idea.
Proving the Premiership won't cost a lot of money.
The best players in the Premier League steps have been the cheapest you can think of. Kante is one of the best midfielders that ever fucking played in the Premier League, and he cost less than £3.5 million.
I'm just saying, Lev Larsson won't be over the odds. It'll be a relatively good option. Premiership proven, and I don't think his wage will be too high.
I'm a fan of 1 or 2 of them, baby girl. You know this. I'm a fan of 1 or 2 of them. But anyway, I'd like to thank TT for his time, baby girl for her time and us supporting the stream. Likewise, big up Stepsy as well for backing us up. JPT, JK, everyone else of the Blues family. We finally got something to have a little laugh about and a giggle about. It's been nice. Big up Dime, big up Rosie, big up Mel in the building, everyone's favourite comedian. Deals obviously was in the chat earlier. E. Ross, the boss. I see Joe in there earlier as well. Big up, Joe. Big up, my bro. DJ Crane, of course. Dimes was there earlier. Have I missed anybody? Yeah, Donna was there as well. Big up, Don. European champions. Not many people can say that, kicking their heels back to back. But me and Donna can say that tonight. Did I miss anyone? Chelsea's perspective, of course. Sign up to this guy. Great Chelsea fan. Great Chelsea content creator.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, he was here, bruv. I was actually taken back as well. But I'm always grateful when one of the other Chelsea fans poke their nose in. Big up Garvan as well. I don't know which team this guy supports now. No, I'm joking.
And Bargav, me, you, Bargav, and JPC go back Saturday, didn't we?
I love it. Yeah,
Wow.
big up to Mr. B as well. Obviously, he's been rocking the chat for the last couple of hours. Big up to him. Thank you much obliged. And do subscribe to Mr. B. He's full of banter and he's a good bloke. That laugh gets me I'm telling you, man. It's like listening to Frank Bruno echoes. You know what I mean, Harry? Nah, I love him. Good guy, man. Decent. There you go. Man, that's what I thought. I'm not being funny, actually. He wouldn't be a bad signing for Brentford either, actually, if they could get him. But he'd have to.
He seems like a style Brentford would be.
Yes, he does. Then again, we need a physical guy. That's why I think he's a good idea. But anyway, big up to all of you. We actually had a decent season. It weren't bad, but hopefully the rest of us again for the review. Well, we'll schedule that when everyone can be on it, and we'll hopefully organise it a bit better. But everyone, stay safe. Good night. God bless, and we are out of here. Peace.